And we're going to let the coat come all the way down basically to the boots. Alright, so the coat will just come just above the boots, the bottom of the coat, in other words, like this. Oops, almost dropped it. So there isn't a lot of pants to have to contend with. It's just the coat itself. Okay. Let's cut up thing in our, and we all know good and well that and we want to just have that coat just come just above the boots here, the bottom of it, in other words. We come back here. With it. Just like that. And we want to cut our, what we call our sleeve cuts in there, wrinkle cuts. Like I said, this is a small piece, so we don't want to go too far with it. Okay. Okay. We'll just go up underneath there a little bit. And let's start bringing that head down. And this is how we... Okay. Now, I think... Let's go ahead and put a little hat on him. Which will take a little bit out of it. So we want to be very careful. We want to be careful what we do here, because this is very thin in here, and we want to be careful we don't go too far. And want to make sure that our knife is sharp. You can see I'm taking very, very small cuts from this piece. Very small cuts. Because when you get into 2-inch pieces, you get into very small, you know, barely over 2-inch pieces. You get into very, very small work. And you just go around the hat And you just very slowly, take that off. And then this is where you want to also be careful. You want to make the brim of the hat and stuff. You go around it also like this. You kind of flip your knife as you do this. You sort of flip your knife and bring, as you begin to make the brim of your hat, or the top of your hat, in other words. You come around, you keep flipping your knife, just like this, see? Just keep doing that. Coming in a little bit further, and a little bit further. See how you're starting to get the brim of your hat up here? And I'm going to do it again. Again. You slowly but surely get the brim of our hat. You dig in a little bit deeper. And you work. I broke a little piece just right here. I don't know how it broke. I guess it's just, maybe it was a bad place in the wood. You don't panic. You don't. You just keep working it. You don't panic at all, because you can bring that brim down, because this is not going to be a real huge hat. You take it, and you cut very lightly. That's why I have the small knife to do this work. And you begin to work that brim down. See what I'm doing? See that? You begin to work that brim down very lightly. Don't fight it. Don't, because the brim, of course, is too thick. You slowly but surely work that brim down. And you see then the hat begins to look its best. Notice how I'm using the tip of the knife. I'm using the tip of the knife, not the whole blade, just the tip here, as I bring this down. As I bring the face down, I bring the front of it down. And I bring, and as I bring this down and bring you can see the hat now becoming an issue with the piece, see? Slowly bring it down some more. But look at the small cuts I'm making. That's why I say I don't want beginners doing this, because it takes control of the knife. It takes control of the knife, and no, I'm not, but I mean it does. It takes you to control the knife, control the blade, not the pressure. A lot of it is pressure. Knowing how much pressure to put on pieces that are small like this. And most beginners do not know that. And if you say, I'm a beginner and I do know it, then I don't know. You better try something. You better try it out first before you try to do things like that, okay? Okay, I'll make it just a little bit more. I'm going to come up underneath here and take off a little bit on the hat too. And round this off just a little bit because it broke there. What I might do is I might just, since it's broke there, I can do that a little bit more. I can always add a little piece onto there. No, I'm not going to have to even do that. I'm not. I just bring this down a little bit more, and that takes care of the piece that's broken off there. Just a little bit work with a knife. And look at that, see? Look at that. Now I'm not going to do any ears because I'm going to just I'm going to do ears. I'm sorry. I meant I was going to do some ears here. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. See how I just cut? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to do ears on here. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm just going to do some, oh, there we go. There we go. Come up underneath here and get rid of a little of this. Okay, see? So let's just go ahead. I'm going to just go ahead and make a little cut here. We're going to go ahead and do our nose. Just make us a little cut here. Be very careful because this is very small work. See that? I'm just going to come up from both sides here, right here. And right here. Right there. Right there. Okay. Look at that little nose, see? We just dig in a little bit deeper. Make that nose stand out some more. And then we come. See how they're using the tip of that knife? Just sort of scraping it, in other words. That's what just to kind of make it look. Okay. I'm gonna even these a little bit. Bring these down a little bit. There's one of our local drive too fast people. I'm sorry, let me finish this face. And then I just put a little mark right here. A little mark right there to put on the age lines. It's kind of hard to see. I know, very hard to see. Little age lines there. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to cut him a little mouth in here. Just like that, because I'm just going to put a little cigar in there. Cut back on that a little bit there. Because it is cold. Cut back a little bit. Okay, now these boots are way too big and they have to be brought down. These boots that he's wearing. I tell you what, the boots don't look right for some reason, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn those into shoes. I don't know. I'm just going to turn them into shoes. I don't like the boots now with the coat. I just don't. So I can change my mind. I'm just going to go ahead and do this and make the pants, because I'm not crazy about the boots. They just don't look right on this in this scene with him. Okay. Just that's a good thing about when you do a piece. You can change your mind. You don't have to continue with the same thing. The boots just didn't look right for me. I don't know why. Just didn't. So I'm going to cut them down and just make them pants. Just don't look right for me. That's a good thing about it just didn't look, it looked like they were too big. They were just not, they didn't fit the profile of him the way I wanted him. And let's bring those, because they just look way too big. Let's bring all that down. That's I say, that's the thing about carving. You can choose to do something, or you can change it if you want to. And I decided to change it. So I just did. There we go. And that's the wonderful thing I say about carving. It just didn't look right for me. Actually, when I started carving him, I was going to maybe make him a little bit different, but I decided to put a hat on him and stuff, and just didn't shine right the way it looked. So I have that flexibility to to do that. Okay, now that looks better. That looks better. Change that whole profile up there. Okay. Okay, now that looks more presentable. There we go. All right. And we just kind of knock those. I'll clean him up with soap and water for the scarf type deal. But he's just a guy with a his hat on. Here's his hat. And a little snow scene we're going to do. I love doing the little snow scenes. They're so, well, like I said, I am not a big Santa carver. I just never have been. There's nothing wrong with carving Santas, but I just like the other scenes rather than the carving the Santa scenes. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and wet him. Okay. And because he's done. He's done. And he's small, so it's really hard to see a lot of what I'm seeing and hear what I'm getting at. But the basics is what I'm trying to show you is how to do a little scene with just a little figure. Of course, he's bundled up in this way. Let me wet him real quick. Oh.